What's up, you guys? We're back with another episode of Who Even Asked. I'm Tay.
And I'm Jazz.
And how's your week going?
My week's going pretty good. Just been busy. This week flew by.
Yeah.
This is the fastest week I've had in a while. I'm so glad tomorrow's Friday. How about yours?
Same. Long, busy. Really nothing too exciting to
No?
report. Just busy with work and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing exciting.
Nothing exciting happened for me either, really. But in some other cool news this week, or kind of scary news, I guess, depending on how you look at it, that dire wolf
Oh,
coming back.
yes.
Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did. This is actually insane.
Yeah. So it's a company called Colossal, and apparently they genetically just made it. I don't know what the correct words for it, but it's like a
Created?
tube, like a test tube baby, basically.
Yeah. How does one get the DNA and the materials, whatever, genes to create an extinct species? How does that work?
So I think it's just like in Jurassic Park, when they find bones and stuff, they can use that to replicate the DNA. So I think we have a lot of older animals that are extinct now's DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people trying to remake things, but they're trying to remake other things too, like the dodo bird and the woolly mammoth and all sorts of crazy stuff.
How do you feel about this?
Honestly, it's kind of scary because, first of all, you're genetically modifying something and just creating something that we don't know how it's going to act.
Right.
Just because it has the DNA of something doesn't mean it's not going to be acting the same as it was before. What if this thing is
Right.
crazy, a mutant of some sort? And that sounds so far-fetched, but you never know.
Well, and to piggyback off of that, I'm sure these animals acted the way they did because they're around other animals, their species,
Mm-hmm.
So how are they going to act when it's just they don't know what the fuck is up, This is all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So these first two,
Because there's actually three.
There's
Am I
three?
right? Yeah, I believe there's 2 boys and 1 girl.
okay. Yeah, so those they're keeping on this undisclosed farm area or place so they don't interact with any other animals. But then to your point, what's the point of doing that? Are they, you know?
Well, and is that going to cause inbreeding if there's only, or are they just going to keep doing the same process to make more, to make a population of these creatures?
I didn't really think about the inbreeding thing, to be honest.
I don't know why that's where my head immediately went to.
I think don't some species of animals not have that? Some of them do mate with their
Maybe
things.
so. I'm not well versed enough.
Yeah, neither am I.
I don't know, but I know, with dogs, I know,
Yeah.
hot take, you golden doodle people can come for me, but I feel like there's a lot of fucking inbreeding with the golden doodle community.
Yeah.
So I don't, because my point to that was dogs, that can
Yeah.
happen. Obviously, humans, that can happen.
Yeah.
So I guess in my mind, I thought that could happen with all species.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's
I don't know.
okay. So I'm probably wrong, but I'm also kind of thinking I'm right. Where what I said earlier was some can and some can't, and some have adverse effects, but
I'm sure
others
you're
don't.
right.
But I do know with the woolly mammoth, I did read something where their plan is to ultimately bring back the populations of these animals.
But my question is why? Why why do we want to do this? Me and Jacob were talking about this earlier today, and he had said, so there's one that they want to bring back. I believe it's the Tasmanian tiger. I don't know if that's the correct name.
Tasmanian devil.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But I guess it was the only apex predator in Tasmania. So I guess there's an overpopulation of marsupials and stuff now. So the thought was if you brought back the Tasmanian tiger, that it would help with population control and just to keep everything balanced.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it goes against nature. Maybe there's a reason it died out. it just makes me think of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. And we all know what happened with Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And sometimes life does imitate art, okay? So
Yeah.
you never know.
Well, have you heard that argument before? Like, especially when they make like end of time, like end of world shows or movies, it's because like it's foreshadowing something and like they know something.
Yeah, or like they'll say like the government, and this is like so conspiracy theory
You know,
ish.
we'll eat that shit up.
Yeah. But they say like the government purposefully puts movies out there to test like
Right.
people's reactions, like how they would react to certain situations or fake situations.
Right.
So who knows, man? But yeah, I kind of like I agree with you on the point where like why are we trying to bring these animals back when they probably died for a reason?
That's just what my mind keeps going to. And like, that's like simple terms thinking, just like of the animal aspect of this. I just feel like with most things that are created for like good intention, it gets into the wrong hands and bad people use good things for shitty reasons and it can become evil. So I don't know. My gut feeling and first reaction to this was I can see this going south and being used for like bad reasons. I don't
Like
know.
animal trading or something crazy like exotic animal trading. Could you imagine having like this random like basically AI generated freaking animal?
Yeah. Well, and I guess Jacob had said that they're not planning on giving like their, I don't know what you would call it, like their science behind it to anybody. Like they themselves are just going to use it for good. But if somebody were to like buy their technologies or science behind it, like they wouldn't be the ones doing the bad. But that's where I go back to my point on it is things can get into the wrong hands and be used for bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And not only that, but like there's so many like scuzzy people out there that could probably find a way to sue them or do something to get to the point where they could just go in there and take it. Like
Yeah.
so that's like yeah, that's a really crazy situation.
But like why do we want to bring back the woolly mammoth? I don't get it. I don't know.
They want to make a real life version of Ice Age, I think.
That's what it's giving, actually. He had also talked about, I guess, another animal that they talked about potentially bringing back is this, like, I guess it's like a seal meets walrus that's like the size of a whale.
Seal walrus whale.
Why do we need that? The ocean is already pissed at us for how we treat it. Like, I think let's leave it alone because I think you're going to be setting off like ecosystems and balances, and I just don't know how I feel about that.
And if they do plan to like reintegrate these fake animals or, you know, into the world, how are they going to do that?
Right. Well, I guess they had asked like woolly mammoth, for example, I guess whatever country they hypothetically thought of putting this animal into, I guess they had asked some of the natives or locals if like how they would feel about it, and I guess they were on board with it. I guess they thought it would be cool, but I don't know. Just me personally, I just get a bad gut feeling about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's definitely it's almost like what was that movie with Will Smith? You know, where they find the cure for cancer and then it ends up like ending the world.
I don't think I've seen that. Or is this the one where he kills himself with the jellyfish?
Jellyfish.
I really don't
The
even know.
dog. There's a dog. It's just him and his dog in there.
You know, I really don't know what I'm
God
talking
dang it!
about.
What is
What's
that
that?
movie
So
called?
scratch that.
Oh, he sings a Bob Marley song in there. What is that freaking movie called? Gosh dang it. Um, yeah, it's like the end of the world, and they're like he was a scientist, him and his partner, and they were trying to find the cure for cancer, and I think they were like testing on like animals or something, and one of them mutated, and this like zombie outbreak happened.
Oh.
Um, but what is it called? It's
I don't think I've seen this, but it sounds like something I would love.
I'm really surprised that if you haven't seen it because it was such a big movie. I Am Legend.
No, I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
I've watched that movie like 4 times.
I'm not the biggest movie person. Like, yeah, I've seen like movies, but I'm just not a huge movie person.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I haven't. I've been watching a lot of like I hated Lifetime movies,
Yeah.
But I've been watching a lot of like the true crime ones.
Some of them are good. I loved them when I was younger, like, but now I'm like, this is very
I'm the
cheesy.
opposite. Like I liked them when I hated them when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I'm like, okay.
See, the older I get, there's certain like not the Hallmark movies, but like shows that are very Hallmark that I'm like, it's a guilty pleasure now. Like Virgin River.
Oh.
I love it.
Okay, so is that the Netflix show?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I did watch Virgin River.
It was so cute and wholesome.
But what happens is I'll see my mom watching these shows. I'll stop and like kind of like pay attention to it for a second, and then I'm like, damn, okay, now I want to know what happens. So I go
Yeah.
fight. That's the same way it was with all these like 911 shows, and like I got into, I think it's called like Fire Country or something like that.
Oh, I've heard that one's really good.
It actually is really good. But I guess speaking of shows,
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about some shows that are coming out because it is like after that writer strike, that happened. It's like all those shows are finally coming out, and like
Yeah.
this month in April, so many premieres. And tonight, the season finale of the Yellow Jackets, which I'm so excited.
Okay, side note to that real quick. We had talked about spoilers on the last episode, and I decided I was going to read the comments on our TikTok for the podcast, and I spoiled Yellow Jackets for myself. So I'm livid.
Well, I had that same thing kind of happen to me, and I felt like I shot myself in the foot because I started watching Killing Eve because I've really been craving like lesbian centered shows. And like I've watched the L Word so many freaking times. I've watched all these Orange is New Black. I've watched fucking anything you can think of. I've seen it. Like I scoured, okay, the internet. And so I was like, oh, Killing Eve has that like lesbian, like I just saw it edit on TikTok, like one of those, those like edits that like cut them together. And I was like, is this a lesbian show? So I start watching it, and like it's giving, like I was really like exciting, and like I was like, yeah, cool. Well, my dumbass is like at the end of season 1, I was like, I wonder if they ever get together. Googled it, and it ruined the whole fucking show for me. I was like, what's the point of watching it? Like
You do this to yourself.
I know I did it to myself, but I was so mad. I'm still watching it, but it's just like now I know what's gonna happen, and it's kind of like takes the fun out of it.
Maybe you'll learn your lesson one day.
Maybe one day. Hacks though. So like that show's already over, I think, the Killing Eve.
Okay.
But yeah, so we had The Handmaid's Tale, the season finale of Yellow Jackets. And then this month we also get You, the final season.
Ooh.
So I'm excited for that. But this week today too, which I'm going to watch tonight, is Hacks. Have you ever seen Hacks? Oh my god. It's kind of, so one of the main characters is a lesbian, but it has this really older lady, and so the older lady was a comedian named Deborah Vance, and she was like really popular, but she kind of like aged out. So now like she's trying to be relevant again. And so she hires this younger comedian who's a writer to help her write stuff, and that's the lesbian lady. And anyways, it's a really funny show. Like they're dynamic. Like obviously they don't get together. That would be weird. Well, it wouldn't, it kind of is. Let's just not go there. But so anyways, yeah, so I've been watching that, and that comes out tonight. So I just feel like there's so many shows coming out that like, when am I going to find the time to watch all these shows? And I will if I have to stay up till...
You stay up till 4 a.m. like
Yeah.
on the daily, so I think you'll find some time.
When The Handmaid's Tale came out, it premiered at 11, and I watched it back to back to back that night, and it was done. Like I was done watching it by like 1:30, I think.
It's not bad.
No, so, and I usually go to bed pretty late. So
I don't know how you do it.
yeah, I don't know. Well, I was telling you earlier off camera that I think I have what it's called like sleep revenge, where like you try to stay up so long because you have to work tomorrow, so you kind of want to take your time back.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
So that's what I have. And it makes me just stay up super late. But,
yeah. I've definitely done that sometimes, but I cannot function if I do not get 8 hours of sleep. I'm one of those people, like, I have to be fully rested.
See, but you do like more like artsy stuff, and I feel like you have to be really focused, and you can't be tired because you're gonna screw something up. You know what I mean?
Right, I agree.
My work is not as like, if I was doing actual coding like I used to do, there's no way that I'd be able to function
Mm.
the way I'm functioning now. But with my work right now, it's kind of like light work, like light coding, like not really anything too brain intensive.
Mhm.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing because it's not very challenging, but it's like I can stay up late and be fine.
Yeah. Well, that's how I was when I worked at like my little office job. Like, I would do that. Like, I would be miserable and not want to go to work the next day. So I can relate to that.
Yeah. But my last note on like shows that I wanted to make is we need more lesbian shows, okay? There's so many gay guy shows, like I kid you not, so many gay guy shows, so
Mhm.
many like gay men centered things. I need some lesbian drama, okay? Like I need something. Somebody get to work on it, okay?
Representation.
For sure. Because right now I feel like a lot of like a lot of lesbians watch Yellow Jackets because it's giving such a lesbian energy, right?
Sure.
Or like some other shows. What other show was it? There's just a couple shows that people will watch because like we're so like TV deprived of representation sometimes that it's hard to find anything, so we gravitate to these shows that give off even the tiny bit of lesbian energy, which now that I think about it, there are lesbians in Yellow Jackets, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but my point is there needs to be more lesbian shit. Come on.
That's
Okay?
fair.
If I could write shit, like if I was good at all that stuff, like I'd try and make something, but I don't got the time for that and I'm not good at writing. So,
Well, like, I think that's cool about Yellow Jackets is it is very like inclusive of all situations, I
yeah.
feel like there's lesbian, there's gay, there's straight, like it
Mhm.
really and there's all different types of races in there.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's they covered all the bases. So I think
Yeah,
that's
they
pretty
really
cool about
did.
that show.
And I can't talk about anything because I don't want to ruin it for you, but
I am almost done with season 2, so I am almost caught up.
yes. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks you'll be caught up and I can talk to you about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, cuz my cousin's fiance, when I was with her and him on Saturday, I found out she watches it, but she didn't even know what day it came out. So she was like watching it a couple days later, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
want somebody that I can talk to right now about it. You know what I mean? Because
This
like right
second.
after I watch it, I want to be able to talk to somebody about it.
I get that. I think it's so funny how shows have become like book club, like talking to
Yeah.
people. Like none of us, not none of us, but a
Mhm.
lot of us don't read as much. So talking about shows is like our book club.
I just bought like 3 more books that I put on my shelf.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are these the books you had sent in the
Yeah.
group chat?
One of them's Atomic Habits, and I wanted that one just to like. I heard just a lot of great things about it, and then I got The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which just talks about like, I think it goes over like anxiety and just like how to stop caring so much.
Mm.
And then I bought another book that I read when I was younger, um, because a lot of people are saying they reread it when they were older and it just hit different.
Sure.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's up there. So yeah, the first week I did really good, and I read a chapter of each. Haven't touched them since, so I'm gonna try and get back on that ball. But
Maybe do the Habits one
yeah,
because then it'll
first,
be like
so that way I
build my
can,
reading habit.
yeah.
I've been wanting to read that one for a while.
I mean, it's pretty interesting. The start of it is this guy that talks about like basically he had an injury and he was playing baseball and he like thought that like he would never make it to the pros or what, or not to the pros, to just college baseball, I guess. Because he got cut from the team after he had his injury because he was out for a season and all this stuff. And then he basically talks about the habits he changed to get himself back to the point where he could play baseball in college, and he ends up playing in college.
Okay.
Um, and that's as far as I've gotten so far.
Sorry.
Nope.
Yeah, I think I need to read that one. Or if any of you guys have any suggestions, I need something that's going to help me be more consistent. Like I am good about like eating healthy and like getting all the things done, like keeping my house clean, like being good at my job. Like I'm good at all those things, but not consistently and not all at once. So that's something I want to work on. And so if y'all have any recs, please drop them in the comments below.
So do you think like you have spurts almost of like consistency and then you just don't have consistency at points?
Yes. And like I'm really bad about I'll do super great like getting okay, so here's how my brain works. I have to have everything prepped to have like the best week ever on Sunday. And if I don't do every single thing that I have to have done on Sunday, I just know I'm not going to be consistent through the week. Or I'll get everything done for Sunday and then I'll do good Monday, Tuesday, and half of Wednesday. And then I just am complete shit the rest of the week. And this is like a constant spiral that's been happening for years. And so I just want to be more consistent about stuff.
I get that for sure. And that's what I need to.
Mm-hmm.
I like am the same way. Like I'll say I'm going to do something and I'll have it on my like thing to do and then I'll kind of procrastinate and then I'll just be stuck like panicking midweek because I got a lot of shit to do and then I put myself in this cycle of like not having the correct time management and like just procrastination. So that is why I bought that book. And the other one too cuz I just overthink everything. So if I finish it I'll let you borrow it.
Please do.
But hopefully I finish it.
Yeah. So I saw on our doc that you had something about dreams you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, so okay. So I'm sorry I keep talking about The Handmaid's Tale, but so the night after I watched it, I've watched this show probably like 6 or 7 times at this point, through and throughout, and I've never ever had a dream about it. And the night after I watched it, had a fucking dream that I was like in like not a handmaid, but like in the world of it.
Okay.
And we were going to fight Gilead. But like I was at my grandma's and my mom was helping me get my fight uniform and like she was like it was so fucking weird. It was so stupid. I had like a softball shirt on and I was like gonna go fight.
She was ready to go.
I just thought it was so funny. But last night I had the weirdest dream. Okay, so I've had dreams of my teeth falling out before. I've had dreams. I have this constant dream where like, well, I haven't had it in a really long time, but when I was younger, I'd be driving around the neighborhood in this car and I wouldn't know how to stop the car.
Okay.
But last night I had a dream and it felt so real. I feel like I lucid dream a lot.
Okay.
And it was that there's hair stuck in between my teeth.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the hair, like I was pulling it and it was weird because I could literally, it felt like it was coming out of my teeth. And I was pulling it and it just wouldn't stop. Like just like little strings here and there, just like pulling. And I just thought it was so like such a weird dream. I think I looked up like some stuff about what it means, but
Okay.
I don't really know because there's so many things on the internet that interpret dreams like what's really true, you know what I mean?
But to that point, sorry, before you dive in, who comes up with this? Who is
Right.
like, this is what your specific dream means?
Yeah. I think I liken that to like scrolling on TikTok and seeing the tarot reading people.
The tarot people, yeah.
And sometimes my dumb ass will sit there and be like, oh, yeah.
Is this about me?
Like I saw one the other day and I thought about watching and I was like, no, because then I'll have tarot reading card people all over my For You page for the next 6 days. So, okay, there's a couple different ones here and I basically put it in Chat GPT. And one was deeper rooted issue. If it's embedded in your gums, that could point to something deeply rooted like a belief, regret, or a situation you've tried to ignore, but it's still there under the surface. Your gums are sensitive and foundational. They support your teeth, which help you communicate and chew on ideas. So a dream like this could mean something painful or unresolved is interfering with how you process or express things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's relevant to your life currently?
I think I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself, but I don't think that has anything to do with that.
Okay.
Sensitive. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. The next one is mental or emotional irritation. It could also represent a nagging thought or emotion, something small but persistent, like a past comment, mistake, or relationship that's low-key bugging you, even if you're trying to move on. Kind of like a subconscious splinter.
I like that term, subconscious splinter.
Yeah. I don't think that one's it at all.
Okay.
The next one is trying to pull something out that doesn't belong. If you were trying to remove it in the dreams and it wouldn't come out, that can reflect a real life feelings of helplessness or frustration. Like you're trying to fix something or let go, but you can't figure out how. It might also connect to guilt or embarrassment you're struggling to resolve. Hmm.
I think that one's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been wanting to, like go out on your own and do your own thing, and I feel like you kind of felt stuck where you're at, like work-wise,
Mm-hmm.
career-wise, and
Yeah.
so that made sense to me when you were reading it to your situation, just from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah. And see, to me, what I thought that dream could mean, which was literally nothing in this really, but I get what you're saying, like with that one, like it could too be that.
Uh-huh.
But here lately, I found myself struggling with like, because I put a lot of work into these podcasts and stuff, and like, I feel like it's so hard to not get down. I don't want to say down because not upset or anything, but like feel demotivated, I guess,
Sure.
if like something doesn't do as well as you want it to do. You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
understandable.
And I think I've been really struggling with that um for both of the podcasts, I think, because like and truthfully, like we're not doing bad. There's it takes people like literally years
Years.
to take off. And I'm just not I don't have patience, I think is my problem. So I'm trying to get to the point where I do. But I've really been struggling, especially with my other one, because like I feel like it was doing really well and it's kind of like teetered, like kind
Yeah,
of like plateauing right now.
sure.
And so I think I've just mostly been struggling with that and like kind of like I'm putting so many hours into doing all of this stuff and like spending half of my week doing a lot of stuff for, podcasts and stuff. And I'm like sometimes it just doesn't feel worth it. And I think I've been struggling with that. And but I enjoy doing it. Like so it's kind of like a back and forth thing
Yeah.
with me. And I think that's something I've really been struggling with lately. So I thought maybe it could have had something to do with that. Because that night or last night, I was kind of thinking about that stuff. Like, man, I'm putting so many hours and posting this. And like, sometimes it's just really defeating. And I've just been really struggling with finding ways to mentally readjust my thinking, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, life is all about perspective, but I see
Yeah.
where you're coming from and why that is frustrating, and I absolutely get where you're coming from. It just takes time. Like
Yeah.
it truly
Yeah.
does. Like I think another thing to consider with what you just said is a lot of people who go and start these podcasts, I
Yeah.
feel like they already have like a very big social media presence before they do that.
Oh,
So that just like carries over.
yeah.
So they're already like they have a foot up. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna take longer and it's gonna be harder because we're not popping off on socials.
Yeah.
Like
But we're
so
not doing bad though. Like here
yeah.
lately, our socials for this podcast have been doing really well.
Yeah.
Um, and
It
yeah, I
just
agree
takes
with you.
time. And that's how it kind of was I think I have a little more not understanding but just like with my business, like
Mm-hmm.
it took years to get to where I'm at. So I guess it just like I feel like that is going to happen with this
Yeah,
as well. It just takes time.
yeah, and I get that. And then it's just as a person, the type of person I'm just so I need to learn to have more patience. And that's something I've always struggled with.
Mhm.
I and I think like really as humans, we're so used to like instant reward. Some of us, and I'm definitely the instant reward type of person. And sometimes it's hard for me to see things, the bigger picture, when I don't see like little things because I can't. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, it absolutely does. I get what you're saying.
So, but yeah, so I think that had something to do with that dream too. But no, yeah, it could be the job thing too. Because I was definitely regretting not wanting to go to work. But I don't know. But you know what I was thinking the other day too? It's like I don't think there's ever a point in life where you feel like you're not worried about something or like not worried, but like will anything ever be enough? Like
I think that's the biggest lesson in life that I mean, I say we have to learn, but like I don't know if anybody truly ever does until,
mhm.
you're old,
Yeah,
but I know. I mean, because that's you think of like people who are like billionaires, like they're always still working to get more and to make more. Like it's never enough. So I
yeah,
think learning to be like satisfied with things is like the ultimate life lesson.
yeah, true. Well, I feel like we kind of what into therapy mode.
We always end up getting into therapy mode.
And it's always with you, like being the therapist, and me being like,
It's funny because that's like what my job is, and honestly, it's like one of my most favorite parts about my job is that people like trust me enough and feel comfortable enough with
Yeah.
me to like tell me everything. Like the amount of shit I find out from people, crazy. But like I love that y'all feel
Yeah.
comfortable and like I feel honored that people like think I give good advice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that. Like I really appreciate that.
No, and also I think that says a lot about you. Like you come off really like easy to talk to. You know what I mean? So it's like your aura. You're giving off like a good aura or whatever.
On that note, have you heard about how different auras have different
Colors.
colors? We need to look up the aura color chart and guess what we think each other is.
Yeah. How do you guess an aura? Like, is there specific ones or?
Yes, so like I'm trying to think because I know what they are. I'm trying to think what vibe or what color you give off. Let me see if I can find
Didn't.
it. Oh, you know what color I think you're giving? Blue. I don't know what your chart, and that's another thing. Like different charts have they say different things.
It's just like the dream charts. Like there's so many different or
Yeah,
interpretations. Like
exactly. But this one I'm looking at right now, it has a positive and a shadow meaning.
yeah.
In blue says imaginative, love, loyalty, security, trust, artistic, kind, good judgment. And for the shadow meaning, it says cold, fear, wounded masculine energy, moody, snobby, critical of self, and others. Not that I agree with all of these, but
Wounded
the
masculine
the
energy is so
critical
funny.
of self definitely fits you. I feel
Oh
like you're
yeah,
very mean to yourself.
I sure am.
I sure am.
I want to see that chart. Where'd you find it?
I'm on Pinterest.
Oh girl, why you
I'm trying to
Pinterest?
think what color. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to tell what
Well, the
color
chart that
you
I
think
saw a
you give
while
off.
ago, I felt like you were maybe yellow, but I don't know what your chart says about yellow, so I don't want to say yellow.
This says bright, energetic, creativity, happy, optimistic, intellectual, friendly, and then the shadow side says irresponsible, careless, indecisive,
Okay,
easily
that's
led.
no.
I was like, I don't agree with that.
No, the
part.
one that I said, I mean, the one that I had earlier was different for the. Well, the one I had earlier said negatives or whatever, not whatever that said.
Uh-huh.
Let me see which one's yours, real quick. I'm gonna go with purple.
Okay. I could
But
see that from what I'm seeing.
yeah, it says on the positive meaning it is spiritual, intuitive, and wisdom. And then the shadow meaning is moodiness, mystery, and overbearing. I don't really think you're overbearing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But that was like the best one I could get. There's one at the end which was I kind of was leaning towards black, but like the one side didn't really make sense. So
That kind of scares me a little bit.
well,
That sounds bad. You have a black aura. You have a black soul.
I was about to say something, but I'm not.
If there's anybody out there that like reads auras and you want to come on the pod, let us know. That would be so fun.
Yeah, aura. Read our auras. Read a aura.
Read an aura.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good one. That was good. We need to do like one day. We need to just take a fuck ton of quizzes, and then we'll read like our quiz results on here.
I love that. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
One final question I had written down that I wanted to ask you that I saw online the other day. So, this isn't like religious, like, but you die, and assuming you believe in heaven, right? What is the first question that you want answers to? Like, what are you asking God?
Well, damn.
If you need a minute to think about it, I have mine.
Okay, yeah, I need to think about it. You
Okay.
go first.
So, if Adam and Eve were the only two humans he put on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have children.
Yeah.
This probably is in the Bible, and I am not well versed on the Bible.
Yeah.
I haven't like read the whole thing or anything. But they have children. Does that mean the entire world was founded on incest? I just need
I thought about
some
that before.
answers, you know?
Yeah.
Which kind of circles back to the beginning of the episode where we were talking
Yeah.
about.
I know what I'd ask.
Okay, let's hear it.
This one's a little kind of like, I think maybe deeper. Mine would be, would you read the Bible? Would you like like, or something along the lines of like, would you read the Bible, or like, do
Like, is
you
this
believe in
your
this? Yeah,
word?
like, is this what you think? Like, because I've said this many times, and I don't want to get back into religion, but like, I do think, like, you know, man invented the Bible, and they use it as a tool sometimes to, get people to believe in their stuff.
I
And
agree.
so to me, like, I think that's what I'd ask, because I don't think, you know, he'd be as hateful as people portray him to be.
I agree.
So that would be my question.
That made me just think, once again, I'm not trying to get too religious and we can like move on past this, but I had seen a girl say one time that she struggled with religion, and one thing that like kind of brought her back was I guess a lot in the Bible I feel like we're taught to like fear God, which,
Mm-hmm.
and she had just said um I don't remember exactly how she worded it, but she said I basically choose not to see God like that. Like, I don't think like a God who loves us so much would want us to be scared of him and
Yeah.
be scared of fucking up, when the whole point of Christianity, I feel like, is that we are forgiven of our sins.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, not to get too much on that tangent or get too religious,
Yeah.
but I like the way she had said that.
Yeah.
And I think you have to make religion work for you personally.
Yeah.
Take bits and pieces of everything that like brings you peace and
Yeah.
just be a good
So
person.
we don't have to talk, like, we're not going to get back on religion. I know we said this five, but I didn't want to bring this up because, like I already said a million times, I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale. But in this new season specifically, what I really love they're doing is, Gilead is very much based on like that far right Christian, like, um, like, God, Christian, what is it? Christian nationalist? There's a specific word for the type of,
Evangelist?
maybe, for that type of Christian.
Okay.
And in this first 2 or 3 episodes we're seeing for the first time that they're one of the commanders is questioning religion.
Yeah.
And one of the lines he said was like from the Book of Mormon, was um something about, is he real, or like, do they just want us to think he's real, or like, it was a line. I can't That's not exactly what it was, but I just thought it was so crazy because we've never seen anything like this from The Handmaid's Tale, where they're like questioning religion in such a religious based place. And if you like haven't watched any of The Handmaid's Tale, then you'd have to watch it all. But if you have and you haven't seen the new episodes yet, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's just such an awesome thing to see, because we've always just seen so like no questioning religion really, um even from like some of the main protagonists. And it's just a new thing we're getting this season that I thought was really interesting, and like such like kind of refreshing for a show that's so like religious based.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Y'all be sure that you're keeping up with the new season of Handmaid's Tale so you can tag along for Jazz's other podcast. Go give it a follow, a like,
Mm-hmm.
a subscribe, all the things.
Yep.
In other news of stuff just kind of like going around social media at this moment,
Mm-hmm.
do you know who Michaela Noguera is?
Yeah, I do.
The beauty influencer.
I don't watch her, but yeah, I've seen like some of her videos and stuff.
Yeah, I don't keep up with her like a super ton, but she, I guess, has been like a little off on TikTok lately, so people were kind of like catching on and bringing things up. Well, she finally made a video talking about the fact that her husband Cody is in rehab.
Mm-hmm.
So she had made a video to tell people that, and she starts the video off by saying, sorry, it's not funny at all. Come I don't know why I laughed. I'm so sorry. It's not funny at all. She had just made her video saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Come get ready with me to go on a date to visit my husband in rehab." So that's when she goes in and
Mm-hmm.
tells the whole story of like how everything got to this point. Well, I guess he had been an addict in the past and he was clean and sober
Yeah,
for a long time and he fell off the wagon.
because she said when they met, he was an addict.
Yes. And then he got clean, they got married, all the things, and so now he's back in rehab. Well, Trisha Paytas had made, or I guess she touched on it on her podcast with her is that her co-host?
I think so.
Okay, so I guess the point that her co-host had brought up was she had just came out with a skincare line, and I guess in the TikTok she made talking about Cody, she had her skincare line like with the label visible to the camera, so
Yeah.
people just felt like it was icky and like bad timing. I don't know. Do you have any feelings about
I
this?
do, because like who cares if she wants to sell her lipstick or whatever she's selling? This girl's probably going through a lot. Like, why do we have to overanalyze every fucking thing?
Right.
Like let the girl, she, I've never been like in that situation of like having been around somebody who's like addicted, but I can only imagine it's obviously not fun and it's probably really sad and really hard,
Yeah.
now living alone, going, because he's been in rehab. And like, who fucking cares if she's trying to sell her lipstick when she, is making this video? Like, or I don't know if it's lipstick. What is
I
it?
don't know why I was I was just laughing because you said lipstick and it was like skincare.
Oh,
So that was just making me
my
giggle.
point is, I don't know, but like,
But I
that's
agree
my
with
point.
your point 100%.
Yeah, let a girl live.
God forbid a girl talking about her struggles.
God forbid a girl tried to sell her skincare line during her confession about rehab.
No, but I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I have been around an addict, and like that's a lot to deal with. That's like trauma that like sticks with you forever, and really hard to be around that nonstop. So, I empathize for her, and I don't think she really wanted to come out and share that information publicly. I just think it probably got to a point where she was being questioned so much about it,
Yeah.
and people just wouldn't let it rest. And I think she just probably had to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, my heart goes out to her. That's really hard to have to go through, and I hope they can work it out. I hope that he does get the help he needs, which it sounds like he is,
Yeah.
and that, he can stay clean and sober and things just get better for them. My heart goes out to her.
Do we know if it was what it was?
I want to say in previous episodes, like he had like a Xanax problem or something along those lines. Like I want to say, but she did say drugs and alcohol, so I can't specify what exactly it is.
Yeah.
But she said, it was drugs and alcohol again. So
Yeah, because I only watched like the little first bit of that, and I was like, I just don't really watch her. I have nothing to do with like makeup or.
sure.
So I was just like, boop. But then I saw Trisha's video, like I guess where she was trying to come out. Oh, I did get to the part where she was talking about not Trisha, the other girl, how she just bought tickets for Trisha's show and now she feels like and I thought that was so sad.
I did too.
And I didn't see what Trisha said, but I did see her like apology of sorts, or like her talking to her in that video. Did you see it?
Yes. I also this is just kind of like Trisha, like this is just like who she is, but the first like 30 seconds of the video is just like her talking about random shit.
Her talking about a
Trish,
fucking purse.
like what the get to the fucking point. Let's edit this out.
She's like, I hope you stayed around to the end of this video, talking to that girl. And I'm like, girl, you couldn't have fucking clipped the video and put it in, like that in itself would make me feel like that's so like not genuine. Like
I thought the exact same thing.
I'm like, you're just doing this to save your ass. But Trisha, I mean,
that's just also Trish.
Like, she's just
all
problematic. Like, yeah. So
yeah,
Trish will be Trish.
But while we're on that topic, I guess it didn't really have anything to do with the fact that her husband was in rehab. I believe it did have to do with that. But I guess Jeffree Star, which we know Jeffree does his beauty reviews or whatever. Apparently he like tore her to fucking shreds over her skincare line. But I just think Jeffree Star is kind of a fucking dick.
Yeah, he is. He's really dickish.
And like I know everybody stands him, but like respect for building your empire, like that's great, but you're also fucking rude.
They're like him, Shane, Shane's husband, and Trisha. Like, I went to that phase where they're all hanging around together, and I watched all their videos, and they're just they give me such mean people vibes.
Yeah, it just there's a fine line, but and I hate when people are like just being a piece of shit. Like you're just being an asshole, and you're like, oh, I'm just blunt, I'm just honest. No, you're a fucking douche.
Being a dick.
Like read the room. Like, let's have some self-awareness to realize, like, hurting people's feelings isn't just like, hee hee, I'm
Yeah.
quirky, I'm honest. No, you're being a... Yeah.
That's the same thing. Like, I posted a video the other day and I deleted it. But, like, I hate seeing people who are, like, fucking 30 years old act like a mean girl.
Yes.
Like, it's not cute. Maybe in high school that got you something. But now you're a fucking adult. Like, have some respect for other people, for yourself, so you don't come off looking like a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And just, like, being a mean girl is just so...
Cringe.
Yeah.
You should be embarrassed.
Yeah, and it's not coming off the way you think it's coming off, so it's just, yeah.
It's giving you peaked in high school.
For real. And I saw a video on TikTok, and that's what brought that up for me, and I was just like, oh, I couldn't believe it. It's just like, I don't understand people's thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but
I
yeah.
completely agree.
All right, well,
Be a decent human being, fuckers.
yeah. Does cost $0 to be nice to people.
In this economy, that's a deal.
That's a steal of a deal, okay? Be nice to 2 people for that price.
Buy one, give one free.
But I think that was kind of a like way to end the podcast.
Yeah, we've been as usual, all over the place.
Yep,
You can count on that from us.
Mm-hmm. Ups and downs and spins and rounds. I don't know.
Turn it around.
Turn it around. But yeah, so I think we could just close up shop.
Lock her up.
Oh
Well,
my
thank you guys for always tuning in. We
Yeah.
love y'all. Please make sure to give us 5 stars, like, follow. Please comment. We love to hear y'all's
Yeah.
feedback.
I've been loving all the new comments we're getting. We're actually getting some comments now, so
Yeah, and we
pretty nice.
really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So y'all keep up the good work.
Yep. Good job. Pat yourself on the back,
Girl. Okay, well,
Yeah,
on
we're
that
done,
note, we
we're
will
done.
catch you fuckers
Yeah,
next week.
bye guys.